98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos.
It's the billion boy.
This is Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos.
In a nation where every decision matters,
the first subsidy is gone.
where the powerful write the rules and break them without consequence, one program dares to ask the tough questions. No filters, no fear, just facts, insights, and the real issues shaping Nigeria's future.
When you talk about corruption killing the country, we need to be sure you are really intentional about fixing the problem.
And people are still making excuses.
From the corridors of power to the voices on the street,
There's some truth you can't hide. We are all hungry and we are not fighting government. We are just begging you, help us.
from high-stake politics to the struggles of everyday Nigerians.
We want decent job creation. There are no jobs in this country.
This is where the truth comes out. Join the bold and unapologetic Fuhad Saheed and a powerhouse team of sharp political analysts, unapologetic and always on point, as they dissect politics, policies, expose contradiction, and ask the questions others will not.
A lot has happened during the week. We've had politicians making all manner of statements. Everybody's now a freedom fighter. Everybody now speaks for the poor. So a lot of interesting conversations in the political space at this time.
Every Sunday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Political Roundtable, your front row seat to the debates that define the nation. Be informed, be engaged, be heard. Political Roundtable, where Nigeria comes to talk. In a nation where every decision matters,
The first subsidy is gone.
where the powerful write the rules and break them without consequence, one program dares to ask the tough questions. No filters, no fear, just facts, insights, and the real issues shaping Nigeria's future.
When you talk about corruption killing the country, we need to be sure you are really intentional about fixing the problem.
And people are still making excuses.
From the corridors of power to the voices on the street,
There's some truth you can't hide. We are all hungry and we are not fighting government. We are just begging you, help us.
from high-stake politics to the struggles of everyday Nigerians.
We want decent job creation. There are no jobs in this country.
This is where the truth comes out. Join the bold and unapologetic Fuhad Saheed and a powerhouse team of sharp political analysts, unapologetic and always on point, as they dissect politics, policies, expose contradiction, and ask the questions others will not.
A lot has happened during the week. We've had politicians making all manner of statements. Everybody's now a freedom fighter. Everybody now speaks for the poor. So a lot of interesting conversations in the political space at this time.
Every Sunday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Political Roundtable, your front row seat to the debates that define the nation. Be informed, be engaged, be heard. Political Roundtable, where Nigeria comes to talk. In a nation where every decision matters,
The first subsidy is gone.
where the powerful write the rules and break them without consequence, one program dares to ask the tough questions. No filters, no fear, just facts, insights, and the real issues shaping Nigeria's future.
When you talk about corruption killing the country, we need to be sure you are really intentional about fixing the problem.
And people are still making excuses.
From the corridors of power to the voices on the street.
There's some truth you can't hide. We are all hungry and we are not fighting government. We are just begging you, help us.
From high-stake politics to the struggles of everyday Nigerians.
We want decent job creation. There are no jobs in this country.
This is where the truth comes out. Join the bold and unapologetic Fuhad Saheed and a powerhouse team of sharp political analysts, unapologetic and always on point, as they dissect politics, policies, expose contradiction, and ask the questions others will not.
A lot has happened during the week. We've had politicians making all manner of statements. Everybody's now a freedom fighter. Everybody now speaks for the poor. So a lot of interesting conversations in the political space at this time.
Every Sunday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Political Roundtable, your front row seat to the debates that define the nation. Be informed, be engaged, be heard. Political Roundtable, where Nigeria comes to talk.
All right, it's time for Political Roundtable, mainland 98.3 FM. My name is Saheed Fuhad. This is the show where we look at the major issues in the political space. And, of course, there's a lot that we would have to talk about this evening. A whole lot on the table this evening, if you ask me. Of course, there's a lot of development in the political space. So much happening at this time in the political space. And, of course, we will take three very important issues, all of them, if you ask me, a bit related. Again, when we prepare for this show, there's always, what you call breaking news, a major development. Before preparing for the show, the update was that Governor Siminalayi Fubara had not appeared before the APC screening committee. But just about 10 minutes to the show, we saw a video and there was a report that he had actually now appeared before the APC screening committee. He has appeared and, of course, leaving the venue of the screening, he refused to say anything to the press. Of course, there was a lot of media organizations. They had their reporters waiting for him. It was like an ambush. They wanted to hear from him. But now he has appeared before the screening committee, and that means that he may well just be defying whatever political antics that Nyesom Wike is putting in place in Rivers State to run in 2027. So it's going to be a part of our conversation. But of course, this evening we will be starting the conversation by looking at the NDC, the Nigerian Democratic Congress. They've done something very, very big over the weekend by zoning their presidential ticket to the south and putting a clause of a single term on it. It's not just about zoning now. They've decided to add a clause to it. The ticket is coming with the clause of a single term to anyone in the south that picks up the ticket. So we're going to ask ourselves, what are the intrigues behind the decision of the NDC, this new party that appears to be the darling of a lot of Nigerians at this time.
Online Nigerians.
Well, quite a number of Nigerians, Barrister, if you ask me.
I'm about to pick my card there too.
Okay, well, that would be nice.
but I have to be expelled by APC.
Or maybe you resign your membership of the APC. So Kwankwaso backs NDC zoning of presidency to the south for a single term. Says move reflects party's commitment to equity and fairness. So what are the political intrigues? And then we would also have to talk about the ADC. The ADC appears to be a party that still wants to hold its own. The statement since Obi Kwankwaso left the ADC has been that, look, yes, it was a blow, but not a fatal blow. It's not a blow that can send the party to the graves. And what they are saying is that, with or without them, the party remains strong, the party will forge ahead, and in 2027, they will put up a very good fight against the ruling party. So while they are doing that, the update from the ADC is that, look, the legal tussle hanging over the party appears not to be going anytime soon. In fact, the courts, the Federal High Court hearing the case, have now adjourned the case indefinitely. That's one part of the conversation that we're going to look at. Thank God, Barrister Curtis Adigba is here to help us look at that. The lawyers of Balanofiu Gombe are written for the judge to step aside from the case. They're written to the Chief Justice of the Federation that this case be assigned to a new judge, and that in itself is the reason why the judge has now adjourned the case indefinitely. It means that, look, no definite date for these cases to be concluded.
That's a bubble trap.
Well, okay, so we'll look at it, but
because the Chief Judge,
the Chief Judge
of Abuja,
yes,
can just wake up one day and say, okay, we have assigned this case to this person.
Yes,
and that judge might be someone who favors Balanofiu
Gombe's
case.
Again,
so these are the, and then also on the other hand, anyway.
We'll get into that conversation because Bolaji Abdullahi, the spokesperson of the ADC, is alleging that there seems to be some level of interference, and in fact, it appears that there are allegations of elements who are looking at allocating or probably giving this case to judges who may be well favored to whatever Balanofiu Gombe wants, and that in itself is a big question mark on where the ADC is going, since now that this legal tussle is still hanging just over them. It appears not to be going. But with or without all of those issues, the ADC seems to be forging ahead. I think 3 individuals have now picked up their presidential nomination form. Alhaji Atiku Abubakar has done that. Rotimi Amechi has done that. And I think I'm going to try and remember his name now. I keep forgetting. Yes, Ayatudeen. Yes, the 3 of them have now picked up the presidential
MD of FSB.
FSB, yes, they've all picked the nomination form for the party, and so it appears that the party just wants to forge ahead, despite this legal uncertainty that appears not to be leaving them anytime soon. And then finally, we'll go to Rivers State. Political tension resurfaces in Rivers as Wike Fubara allies pick nomination form. Rivers is going to be interesting whether we like it or not. It's going to, because everything is now muddled up. It's just all complicated as we have it now. APC, before we started the show, we're preparing, and the explanation was that Fubara had not appeared before them because again he had some issues, but he was going to eventually appear. But now we have it on good authority that he has appeared before the screening committee. So what it means is that Fubara will be running in the APC primaries. Barrister Curtis Adigba is here with me in the studio. Joseph Folorunsho is back on the roundtable. Nurudeen Adegbengro is here with me in the studio. We're streaming the show live on Facebook and YouTube. The Agege man is here. We're on YouTube. You can listen to us via the Radio Garden platform. We're also on Facebook and YouTube. So multiple channels, multiple opportunities for you to listen to us on Mainland 98.3 FM. You can also go to our website, www.mainlandfm.com. There's a live feed there where you can listen to us from, and then of course be a part of the conversation. Nice to have you in the studio, Barrister Curtis.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Joseph, it's nice to have you back on the roundtable.
Yeah, thank you very much. Even if I'm not here, I'm always following the program, especially the other edition with Barrister Curtis.
Yes,
and it's always a very wonderful one. Again, happy Mother's Day to our sister, mother, and wife, and everybody.
Happy mother. How many Mother's Day do we have?
I think it's always twice.
I think people just throw it up.
Mother's Day, there's a British Mother's Day.
Okay, I think people just throw it up and then it just.
No, it has a specific dates and.
Okay.
In the world calendar.
How many dates do we have?
I think we have like 3 times.
Okay, like 3. Okay,
yes.
all right.
The man.
We can't celebrate our mothers enough.
This organization.
All right. Happy Mother's Day to all wonderful mothers out there. We'll keep praying for our mothers, because of course it's not easy really. Nurudeen, how you doing? Nice, Agege.
Well, fine. Agege is fine. It's just that some of our politicians that are pasting poster for one position, but the form they collected is different from the position they've been. So there are a lot of political.
Did you see their form?
Oh, join.
What you say?
They collected form for what? And putting
the posters they are posting before.
Pasting on it.
So now the form that we've seen, because we have the list of these.
Like some of them wanted to go for reps, yeah, but
yes,
they've collected the assembly form.
Assembly form. So now because
they will paste another poster.
Assembly is assembly. Whether it's Abuja or Lagos.
And we've seen some people that are using mouth to contest. You know the person.
But they didn't collect form.
And they didn't collect form. And there are some people that have not talked. They've not even posted anything.
But they have collected the form.
But they are ready in Abuja for screening.
At least they'll call them honorable. Within the constitution.
Are you aware that in the Nigerian political space, once you come out for a position,
you're honorable.
You are there already.
Whether you collect form or not,
you are there already.
From that moment you're honorable.
My incoming governor.
Honorable. Okay, so maybe they just want to be called honorable. All right, well, we'll go straight to the first issue. The Nigerian Democratic Congress (NDC) has zoned its 2027 presidential ticket to southern Nigeria for a single 4-year term, and the vice presidential candidate to the north. The southern part of the country is made up of southeast, southwest, and south-south. So with this development, it appears that it has now cleared the way for former governor of Anambra State, Mr. Peter Obi, and other southern aspirants to proceed to purchase the presidential form of the party. The resolution of the party was taken at its maiden edition of its national convention held at Los Angeles Event Center in Abuja. Now, Obi was there, Kwankwaso was there. It would be nice, just very important that we take the comments of Mr. Peter Obi and Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, who both appears to be the poster boys of the NDC. Obi, in his remarks at the convention, warned against what he described as attempts to weaken opposition politics in the country, and he said that Nigeria must not slide into a one-party state, adding, quoting him now, "Today in Nigeria, beneficiaries of democracy are becoming agents of the destruction of democracy. We must insist that Nigeria cannot become a one-party state. Nigeria must remain a democracy, and we are determined that in 2027 there will be free, fair, and credible election." The Kwankwansia movement leader, Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, quoting him, said, "I support the decision to zone the presidential ticket of the NDC to the south in the interest of fairness, equity, and national inclusion. This presents a true opportunity for national healing and genuine national building." Now, we're going to be approaching this particular development from these areas. Barrister Curtis Adigba. And this is coming from the reactions we've seen so far that the NDC have taken this decision. Now, does this look very good for the OK movement? There appears to be this OK movement that is flying around. It's probably one of the most popular political movements at this time, the OK movement, basically the Obi Kwankwaso movement. So does this in itself settles the fears that has come to the minds of some people about the possibility of Kwankwaso not running with Obi as running mate? Because again, now it means that Kwankwaso cannot take the presidential tickets of that party. He will be settling if he's on the ticket as a running mate. So that's the first angle. The second one is, look, the zoning in itself, the decision to zone the ticket of the presidential ticket to the south, and then the clause of a one-term president, the clause of one term. There are leaders in the south, for example, who believe that, look, this is just desperation taken too far. You will never forget, for example, what the governor of Anambra State has said about anybody believing that a politician who has the opportunity to run 2 terms who tell people that I want to run for 1 term, and you believe the person. I think I have the sound bite so that we can at least put it in the right perspective. So Lulu believes that, look, anybody believing a politician in Nigeria who says I'm only going to run for 1 term when he has the constitutional right to run for 2 terms, it's just being naive. He was almost going to call the people stupid. Anyways, so does it matter? Well, what would be this, especially for the southeast region, by Sir Curtis Adigba? Because what it means is that if Obi picks the ticket of the NDC as the presidential candidate of the party, he can only run on a single term. The other question is this legally binding? This zoning of the NDC, does it have any legal implication? Does it make any meaning? If tomorrow, let us even say Obi becomes president and decides that no, One time,
it's
no.
against fundamental.
I'm just saying. What are the legal implications? Are they going to sign an agreement? How does a party like this, implement this kind of decision to say no? You are president, but you can't run again. We agreed. I'm just saying. So it's a question I think we have to ask ourselves. Again, is this about desperation or just a strategy? Yes, it's coming. So again, we look at the chances of the OK movement. I have seen leaders of the ADC, for example, who have said that, look, people are talking about Kwankwaso grinding the results out for Obi in the north. What was his performance in 2023? Does he even really have what it takes beyond Kanu to grind out the results in the north for Mr. Peter Obi, where, of course, a lot of these political deficits had come from in the last election? And then what would this mean for the ADC if Atiku also decides to run? So let's just take it holistically. But what do you think? Okay. So the water. Okay, let's just start with Nurudeen. I think you need to take some water. But again, the NDC. Were you surprised that they were very quick, to take a decision in zoning their presidential ticket to the south? We're going to first, take a bit of a, backseat. Let's leave the idea of a single term for now. Let's just even talk about their decision to zone the ticket to the south, because I've seen a lot of Obi supporters who have said, oh, that was what we were telling the ADC. Oh, they left it open because they were playing games with Obi. They knew that, look, it was going to be an Atiku thing. That was why they left it open, almost playing the tricks they played in PDP. That eventually saw Atiku emerging as a candidate. Oh, the NDC is a serious party. What we wanted, we've gotten by the decision of the party to zone the presidential ticket to the south. What do you think?
You know that every party has its own vision, and they have their own mission. So for NDC and Fuhad, don't forget that you have to, if you are a marketer, and you have to do what we call audience analysis, they look at their customer. Majority of what brought more customers to NDC, although we learned that NDC was spearheaded by the Southerner or the major financier, according to what we have.
No, that Seriaki Dixon.
Yes. So a Southerner.
Yes.
That is one thing. Then two, how many people, big, what I mean by a major big political giant in ADC, in NDC, apart from Seriaki Dixon. Now that Peter Obi, Kwankwaso, with a lot of people. So what they have to just look at the audience analysis that currently now, when you have a lot of current House of Rep member, they coming to their party, a lot of Nigerians also registering, moving from either ADC, from any other party, or those people that are political before, joining their own party, they have to look at their customers, because every political party in Nigeria, they are like a marketing company, which they have to do audience research. So because of that, they have to look at it. Basically, what we have now as our audience is majorly from Peter Obi and Rabiu Kwankwaso. So because of that, they have to look at it and say, fine. Then another thing, NDC may also be thinking that with the current situation, although there is no law that bind anybody from northern part of the country not to seek to be president in any political party.
No, I'm just saying that.
No, I'm not looking into them. That what they just have to look is the audience analysis.
Who should be looking at audience analysis now?
NDC.
They've done. What else are they supposed to do? They've already zoned.
That is not what I'm now saying. Yes. The reason why they have to.
Let me say it this way. Which audience do you think this decision appeals to? Which audience are they trying to buy into their party by zoning? I think it's the OB audience.
Yes. So, but one thing they are now looking at is
yes.
Don't forget, before they joined the party officially.
That's Obi
and Kwankwaso.
Yes.
That is a backdoor talk.
Okay, they must.
So that have happened.
Well, but again, you can't. Well, anyways, let's assume that there was.
Politicians like Obi and Kwankwaso, they will not join any political party without a back.
So what was the backdoor talk?
The backdoor
that they had with ADC before they joined ADC. If you are assuming that they had a conversation with NDC,
yes,
but both of them also joined the ADC.
Yes,
was there a talk before they joined the ADC?
There is no way when they joined the ADC. Surely there is going to be a discussion.
What do you think they discussed with
the discussion they had at that particular with ADC is different from NDC.
How do you know?
It's going to be different because the nature is also different. Look, the ADC, there are a lot of big giants there. They cannot have a back talk that Obi will tell you that is consensus we are going to do and you must put me. He will never say that. But in NDC, that needs them more than anything. Although they also need the platform too. They also need the platform, but NDC also need them.
Okay.
Because they are bringing a lot of people to their own political party. But one thing that is so certain there is this: now begging it to be one tenor. That one is overkill for me.
No. Again, you think because again, there's so they've zoned it to the south.
Yes.
A very good appeal.
Which is
to the obedience.
Good. Yes.
Okay. Now the decision to now make it a single term. Which audience do you think they are trying to appeal to with that one?
That one is going to be for the northern part of the country.
And you think the north will buy into it?
Well, it now depends on who is going to buy it and who is not going to buy it. After all, you remember that before Obi joining ADC,
yes,
there was a conversation around it before that even what is there in having two tenor with the tenor, okay, I can do
beautiful. So if let's say the north,
okay,
says, well, at least we are expecting that by 2031 it should come to the north.
Yes.
So if this party has already said it's one time, well, it's okay for us. Do you think, because again we've tried to gauge the body language, the comments, the feelings of political leaders in the southeast, whether you like it or not, they are a political bloc that you can never ignore.
Yes.
Do you think that the leaders in the southeast will buy into this NDC agenda?
It's of two ways.
Okay.
The first side is this that some certain leaders in the east will now be looking at since Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe that becomes unofficial president.
Okay, so
in 1963,
so
we've never had a shot.
So
now that we now have one shot, we are not going to use one tenor.
Okay.
That this is not a good deal.
Half bread is better than chin-chin. Maybe
there are some that will believe that this is a bad deal. That for us, if we now have that president, we now use one particular tenor 4 years when we've not had since that particular.
Before I move to my second, why do you think the NDC decided to include that clause in their zoning formula?
It's basically
why do you think they
two
did
things? With what they have at hand now, the appeal they have, the audiences they have, or major buyers they have is from the south. Then another one again that I think they have to do that. I think it was carved basically to have a presidential candidate from the south.
Okay, all right. By Sakodi Adigba, because again, I have a reason for dancing around the issue of the NDC zoning their presidential ticket to the south and then adding a clause of a single term to it. If they are just zoned it to the south and then allow the candidates to make their promises over, I'm going to run for one term or not, but now that they have now included that clause that whoever picks the ticket from the south cannot run for a single term, I'm looking for the right word. I've been running it in my head. I'm looking at the north, I'm looking at the southeast, I'm looking at the south, I'm looking at the political actors, and I'm like, what is the NDC trying to do? Have you been able to figure it out in your mind, Barrister?
Well, I think the NDC is playing, they think they are playing smart politics, but it's only expedient politics they are playing. First and foremost, like you observe, the rotational principle is not a constitutional principle. It's not in the Constitution.
Yes.
However, political parties, some of them have tried to practice it informally, and a few had injected it into their party constitution.
Yeah. Even though most of it don't even respect it.
But this is a movie we've seen before. When former President Yar'Adua died. Late President Yar'Adua, when he passed, Jonathan, who was his deputy, was sworn in. At that time, the thinking was that he was just going to finish Yar'Adua's term and then he would step aside. But then there were people who came in, like Ike Clark, and then later Chief Obasanjo, who said Nigeria belongs to all of us. Because initially, former President Obasanjo was pushing Jonathan to just finish that term and then go so that the rotational arrangement can still be upheld. But he then said that at some point after meeting with Jonathan and some leaders of the South, he came out to say Nigeria belongs to all of us, and that if people are angry by what he's saying, they want to kill him, Yaba will bury him. That quickly changed. Not until Jonathan wanted to trigger another term that we saw that northern governors and political leaders from the north conspired against Jonathan, and that worked in favor of APC, because at that time the talks were already going. 5 governors of the PDP left the party and joined the APC bandwagon, and that was how Jonathan was defeated. So there's nothing new about this. Now let's go back to our Nigerian history. We've seen parties work together in the past. There's nothing new about that. In 1979, the MPN had majority, but the MPP went into a strategic alliance with the MPN that produced Ume Ozoke of the minority party as Speaker of the House of Representatives. And Joseph Wires from Cross River State as the President of the Senate, an MPN person. So I think what the NDC is trying to do here is to play to a specific audience.
Yes, I've been trying to probe on that audience.
Yes, we have a platform.
Okay.
And we are giving you this platform for your guy to actualize his presidential ambition. Now
that is the obedience now.
Yes, he has come with someone, Kwankwaso, who is also interested in becoming the president, but who has decided to delay his ambition. In support of your guy, but only for 4 years. And so the only way to convince that man and bring him to the ticket,
that is Kwankwaso now.
Yes, this party recognizes the fact that whoever picks the ticket, because we are zoning it to the south, we only do one term to complete the term of the south. Do you understand?
Yes.
So that's the game they are playing.
Okay.
Now, that itself is a seed for conflict.
Okay.
As we know. In my place, they said, look, when someone is on the line to becoming the king, you don't wear the king's bead in his hand and say, we want to see whether it fits you.
You don't go remove him again.
You will not remove it. Let's assume for a moment that Tinubu becomes president. He will not even finish his first year before they push.
You think so?
For second term.
They will not do agreement.
No.
They will not.
It's not going to happen. It's not going to. And that time,
and he's the president.
He's in position of executive power.
And he's in the president.
He has all the resources. In fact, prominent northern leaders who want to cash in
will even say no.
Obi must.
Yes, he has done well.
That the Igbos have not been president for a long time.
That's what I'm saying. That.
So
should the NDC have just left that clause out of their ticket?
I think they need
you and I know.
They need to attract the people that they want to attract.
See, have they attracted somebody like you to
let me tell you something.
Yes.
We can make all the noise.
Yes.
But in politics, we said data is destiny. Data is destiny.
You can't joke with it.
The reality is that, as I was just talking to someone this afternoon, and the same set of argument, because that argument has become very pervasive, and the argument is that, Atiku Abubakar is an agent of Tinubu. Atiku Abubakar doesn't want to be president. Atiku Abubakar, and the question that I asked the person is that Obi, with all his popularity in the last election, did he beat Atiku?
I have the figures. I want us to run.
Let's
run the data a bit, barrister. And so
go on.
So if you look at it again, if you break it down into states, Tinubu took 12 states. Obi took 11 states plus the FCT. We can say we put it at 12 states too. Kwankwaso 1 state, and then Atiku 12 states.
Okay.
So almost like
the difference were in the figures.
Now
they scored from each of the states.
Exactly. So now if you look at the figures, Tinubu cumulatively got 8.7 million votes.
Yes.
Obi got 6.1 million votes.
Okay.
Kwankwaso 1.4 million votes. Atiku 6.9 million votes. So Atiku had more votes.
800,000 votes more.
Votes more than Obi, yes.
So when you're making this, this is what I say to people. People do not understand that constitutionally, Atiku has the right to run for president.
Of course,
as many times as
constitutionally,
he doesn't win.
Nigerians have the right to reject him, vote for him, or not
vote for him.
Yes.
No one can chase him out of a race.
Unless he decides. Yeah.
You can appeal to him and reach a compromise with him. And he needs to see the basis why he thinks that you have a better chance than him. It's not because your supporters are more vocal. It's not because they are concentrated in one area.
I think it's not even about supporters. It has to be about the political leaders.
Look, and this is what I say to people. In spite of all that we have seen, would you consider the NDC today a bigger platform than the ADC? I'm going somewhere, and this is because I think that the inability of the opposition to work together, share their ambitions,
and work as a
this is where we want to go, and be focused on it. When you keep joining the party, Obi was a joiner in ADC. He was a joiner in a Labour Party. He's now a joiner in NDC. It means there are those behind who pull the strings of the party. And like I've always said to people do not understand that if the opposition cannot come together, they have no chance of winning.
Yes.
That's why I told you data is destiny. And I'll prove it to you. Do you realize that the APP or AMPP, as they were called, had more states than the ACE and ACN?
When they were running,
when PDP was
ruling, yes, definitely.
Yes,
they had a better
in the northwest and northeast. They had governors. Even Kashim Shettima was elected on the ticket
before he defected. Yes.
Even Yoruba.
So, but you know something? They couldn't defeat the PDP
until
they realized that every time an election held,
Buhari will have those big numbers.
ACN will have their own 5 states
in the southeast, the southwest.
Minus Ondo at some point, you know, because it was Agagu and then later Mimiko.
Mimiko, yes.
Then they had 4 states. AMPP have, I think, about 7 or something states, and PDP.
But the PDP would always win.
The PDP would always win
at that time.
Not until they realized and came together.
They need to come together.
And in coming together, again picked 5 states from the PDP, and then
added to what they had.
Rocha, Sokorocha, Apuga of
part of it
to join. That was how they mustered the number and the strength
and from the APC,
and the goodwill and the support of Nigerians to be able to defeat the incumbent party,
the PDP.
What we are seeing now,
if they had run it alone,
they
would not have been able to
what
Jonathan.
We are seeing now is a reenactment of 2023.
Clearly,
and the results will still be the same.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why. Obi, by leaving the ADC, has removed the moral burden on Atiku and anybody else who wants to run for president.
At least he has left us.
Because you see, one of the reasons he gave was the multiple lawsuits. These guys who are staying behind are prepared to ride it out.
That lawsuit will grind it out. We'll fight it to the last.
Whether you like it or not, this party will present candidates and will run in elections.
So they are ready to fight to the last. That's why the lawsuits.
And if after going through that fight, they are not going to say, you know what, now that we have succeeded, the man who jumped ship is the one we are
going to go and support.
That's not going to happen. Because whether you like it or not, an Atiku or a Rotimi Amechi will believe. People are only talking about Atiku. Nobody's even talking about Rotimi Amechi.
In fact, Rotimi Amechi, I just saw the person
that was gaining ground.
In fact, the man from Edo was the one that went to. Went to was the one that went to submit his nomination form for him.
He bought the form for him to elect people to buy. So even if Atiku decides today,
what about Rotimi Amechi? How do you convince him
to run? Because Rotimi Amechi believes that if he runs against Tinubu, he can beat Tinubu. Just like Obi believes that if it is me and Tinubu alone,
I'll beat him.
I'll beat Tinubu. So, for Tinubu, he's just on top of the mountain looking at them and say, look at these children. They are playing with fire. Olufalaye was the candidate of AD, but he was also adopted by the ANPP.
Yes.
Because they didn't fit the presidential candidate. And there are those who believe that they actually won that election, somehow that the PDP did this is so magic. So here is the point. The NDC has gone ahead by reassuring their supporters.
Yes.
We have
that what you always wanted, we're giving it to you. And then the fears of the North too, by so it's just one time.
Don't worry, it's going to do one time.
Okay.
But then you know what the argument will be? It's just like the argument I've made in the past, and the same argument Adam Soshomola is making now. When the president of the Senate came out and said there's a ranking,
I wanted to change it.
It starts with whoever has been president of the Senate before. You cannot run. But he became minority leader the first time he went
without any.
So that thing, there is a clash between that new rule
and even his own
section 50 of the Nigerian Constitution, which says that members of the Senate and members of the House shall from among themselves.
You didn't talk about rank.
No, he's not talking about rank. It's even against the fundamental human rights.
So you see the point I'm making?
Yes.
Now, the NDC has just sowed the seed for the conflict that will destroy the party.
That's clause of single term.
Because the Igbos will come out and say, come on, if Obi is president.
Why confine him to only 4 years?
One. Now, if, for instance, Obi runs and he loses against
anybody
who's running, does that clause remain? That because he did not win the election, the next time still belongs to a southerner
in the party?
Yes, because that was part of the problem they had in the PDP.
Yes,
where this man had argued. Atiku went to Port Harcourt and wanted to be, and people like Wike and co argued that the fact that Atiku lost against Buhari, that he had used the time of the North. And it was not time to go to the South.
And it's not in their constitution.
And Atiku did not win that election. So, there are all kind of angles to this issue. However, what they have done meets the need of the moment. But is it something that we endure?
Is this a vehicle that can take them to the promised land?
Well,
of winning the presidency?
The vehicle has enough way to go from here to Benin. Can he go to Benue?
Because again, it's talking about the vehicle now. And like I said, I've listened to ADC leaders because again, you try to understand them, where they're coming from. Because whether you like it or not, having Obi leave the ADC, it's not a joke. That's huge. That's big. We just looked at the numbers now. For someone who was able to grind out 11 slates for the FCT, it's going to be a very big minus. Again, one wonders what the opposition was thinking. What were they?
But for what I think that we are not taking into consideration something.
Yes.
The political dynamics has shifted.
Okay.
You are not going to recreate in exact figures
the way it happens in 2023.
These guys had.
Of course, but whether we like it or not, to predict the future, you still have to look at the existing data.
I know, but what I'm telling you is that first and foremost, the president is hugely unpopular right now.
Of course, yes, he's running against his own record now.
He's running against his own record, and that's why he's fighting so hard to make this election about a choice, not a referendum
on his performance.
If it's a referendum, then it becomes about his record. But what he's trying to do, if you look at his campaign group, what they're trying to tell you is, look at the president and look at the people who are running against him. It's far better than them.
Not even about the records of the president.
Not talking about record. So once you make it a choice election, then he has a chance.
It works to his favor, yes.
But the opposition has got to make it a referendum election
for them to have chance.
And I think the only way they can do that is to work together. But now that they are divided, I don't know. Because, again, no matter what you think has changed, what has changed within the dynamics of the way, Nigerians vote, the reality is that we still have to look at the records. And so, again, we knew that there was a lot of deficit for Obi in 2023 in the north.
Yes.
The records are there to know that in the where
Northwest, where
it really matters. That he needed to do a lot of work, and so people had even talked about the fact that Dati Baba Ahmed was one of the most naive choices that anybody could have made at that time, because what was he able to really do for him? Now we have a Kwankwaso, and so what some ADC leaders are saying is that, look, what is even Kwankwaso's weight in the north? And they talked about figures.
Is Joseph friend now?
no. Let's look at the figures of when Kwankwaso was running.
1.something million
in the north. We'll take it state by state, barrister. Very important. Now, if you look at, let's even leave North Central. Let's just talk about the core north now. So let's look at Yobe. While the APC got 151,000 plus votes, the PDP 198,000 plus votes, the NNPP was able to do less than 20,000, 18,000 votes.
Yeah.
In Yobe. That's Kwankwaso's record in Yobe in the last election. Let's look at Gombe. APC 146,000 plus votes. The PDP Atiku grinded out 319,000 plus votes. NNPP barely 10,520 votes. That's Kwankwaso's record in Gombe. You look at Jigawa State. A neighboring state to Kano. Jigawa APC was able to grind out 421,000 plus votes. The PDP 386,000 plus votes. NNPP 98,000 votes. Adamawa, of course, Atiku.
No. See,
yes.
Here's the point.
So yes,
I'll tell you something. In the last election,
yes,
Kwankwaso was so desperate to get someone from the south just to run with him.
So he did, okay.
And that's exactly what we are seeing here.
But in the north, even in the north,
I'm telling you that, look, Obi has found himself in Kwankwaso's situation. He's desperate to look for a northerner to run with.
But that should be a northerner that can grind out the results for him.
As far as he's concerned,
Kwankwaso can do that.
So,
but the data
now what Obi
shows
is
something completely different.
Because I'm still immensely popular in Nigeria, I will be able to grind out this result. However, if Kwankwaso can give us a huge vote from Kano
to complement
and some of the neighboring states, that will be home and dry. That's the thinking.
Oh, okay. Well, again,
but the current data
is scary to seeing that, because again, we keep talking about the spread.
From the current data, it looks like a pie in the sky, but we'll see.
Well, but looking at the data, whether we like it or not, Obi still has a solid following. I don't think a lot of the people.
Look,
I don't think he has lost anybody.
No, you can't say that. There are a lot of people who in the last few days who have said, look, we cannot stand by anybody who cannot fight.
Maybe because they are not believers.
But are they that substantial?
Let me tell you, it is not the size. Like they said, it is not the size of the dog, but the size of the fight in the dog. You can have, I've given you this example before. In 2016, I was at Philadelphia with Hillary Clinton, Cory Booker, and all of that. And then there was Kate Perry on the stand. And we struggled to gain admission into that place. And there were a lot of young people who were dancing and raising up their hands. Of course, out of curiosity, I started chatting them up. And I told them, we hope that tomorrow the outcome will be. And they said, no, they are not voting for Hillary. They just came there because of Kate Perry. Some said, we are Bernie Sanders supporters.
They are just there.
Just came here.
Just go have fun.
Out of curiosity. Now, let's hope that everyone that is shouting Obi, 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 have their voter's card. Because in an election, you need a GOTV, which is get out the votes. That operation
must be massive. It must be solid.
And you have to get out the votes in critical areas because of the threshold.
That's why I'm trying to look at the data.
So it's just like, even if California has got the biggest voting population, Bring millions out of California.
Winning the presidency is not limited to California.
It's only 55 electoral
collect votes that will come out of it.
I think it's even down to 53 now.
Yes.
Texas has gone up a little bit because a lot of.
But what about the other swing states?
And you have some other small states.
Thank you.
That will give you three colleges.
Montana, South Dakota. All of these things, these are steady. They keep coming. So the important thing is that I've seen the upsurge in the registration of NDC.
Massive.
But when you break down the data, you will see that this registration are basically in Lagos, Rivers, Edo.
They're a bit lopsided. Again, I don't know whether the NDC leadership have taken a time to review the demographics of the registration, the people who are registered, where they are coming from, the states they are coming from. It's not just to say, oh, we have 11 million people. The question is, do you have the spread?
Look, I'm not against.
No. We are discussing reality here.
I'm a realist, and I talk from an informed position about election. I've done elections all over the world. I can tell you, elections are about fine margins in critical
spread
areas. Do you understand? Look at the last results. Tinubu lost
in the north.
But
with very good results.
The figures that he returned from the south, you will notice that in 2 states in the north where Atiku defeated Tinubu, when you put the differences in terms of vote tally
against what he got in the south,
against what he got in Ekiti alone,
he has matched it up.
He's been able to counter it and close it up the gap. Well, but because again, we look at these results and again, I keep looking at the mind of the opposition. Of course, the NDC will tell you that, oh, we have what it takes to win the election. The ADC will still tell you, oh, with or without Obi Kwankwaso, we can grind that. But these were the same set of people who consistently kept telling Nigerians that, look, it had to be a coalition, it had to be a coalition, it had to be a coalition. Now that they cannot agree, they are now saying, oh, we can do it. But this is not to even speak for the opposition, but we are just a bit worried for them because the data shows that, look, they may just be playing into the hands of Tinubu again, despite the fact that in 2027, one would have imagined that Tinubu will be running on his records. But again, the patterns of election in Nigeria show that if the opposition does not work together, it may just make sweet victory for Tinubu.
I think for me, first, the clause in ADC, for me, is actually a clause that may favor Jonathan.
NDC or which?
NDC.
Not ADC.
Not ADC.
Favor Jonathan.
Yes.
Okay.
Because, for example,
he's not a member of the party. There's no record.
You know, this guy, we have our own unique electoral college in Nigeria politics. That if you look at ADC now, NDC, there are people who are shadow
decision makers within the party.
Within Nigeria politics. And by the time these people again come out and started doing some permutation, sometimes Nigeria we can be doing our own permutation, they will be coming out from different angle. And I believe the ruling party is currently seeing some of those movements. If you look at the convention,
if the NDC is about Jonathan, if the leaders of the party,
it may not. Yeah, this leader of the party that you are seeing, some of the years we are seen as leaders. But what of shadow leaders?
I'm talking about if
shadow influencers.
If the shadow leaders of the NDC are looking at Jonathan, maybe it's a Jonathan thing. Do you think there's no reason why they would have to put the clause of a single time?
Yes.
Don't you think it's just about Obi?
No, the issue there
for me, if it's about Jonathan, they will not add that clause.
They can't come up and tell you so that you focus immediately.
About Jonathan is temp-tied.
It's temp-tied.
No, it's because they are going to court. But I think water land.
No, they are in court. They are already in court
to test that.
They are already in court.
Secondly, we may not know the outcome of ADC, judicial, whatever. I think for me, from the information you get some individual, for me, I don't see any clear difference between ADC and NDC, because at the end of the day, it could just be like one common enemy. Some of this challenge of ADC was influenced by the ruling party, and because of that, let's sort of foresee how we can join any political party and answer, let's now in collaboration with Nigeria and fight the whole issue. Because the issue there is this: 2023 we have all the fantastic record of the current president using Lagos, but now a lot of Nigeria will be looking at the record, especially security issues.
We look a lot apart from
you understand it. Security, and I say, okay,
we don't see.
He could come again and say, he could come again and say, we are not looking at any other, just like Jonathan. They say any other person in 2020, is it 2015? Any other person, aside any other person, but not Jonathan, because again the ruling party. Sometimes you are afraid of even say something so that they not count you as an opposition, as in, oh, you are against the president. People want to see. One thing is for you to have a dose about my what you expect from me, and another thing is if I'm not doing maybe meeting at least half of your expectation, the other thing I should be able to convince you why I am not meeting on
but do you know that I'm not even bothered about the ruling party, because the reality is that look, Nigerians, whether we like it or not, a sizable number of Nigerians will be looking at what the APC will be coming to tell them. Okay. They'll be running on their records. But what we are saying, and I think whether we like it or not, it's a pattern in Nigeria. The record does not necessarily determine how people vote. They are under consideration.
But it all depends, because in behavioral science, anything can happen. Let
me add this.
I will work on
history has shown that
in the world.
Yes.
It's always a difficult task to uproot an incumbent.
Yes.
Anywhere in the world. Whether he has good records or
bad records.
You have
the power of incumbency.
You have to present something.
That's the opposition.
That is very huge.
Voters don't want to fire the incumbent unless there is a compelling reason for them to do so. And this is why we say, if the ruling party is faltering, the opposition needs to be almost near perfect to be able to take out the ruling party. First of all, there's something called earned privileges and press. That the governors of the parties, who are governors, will use public resources to go for their campaigns. The president will use the presidential jet that is not his own to go around. And wherever he goes, all press people follow him. Whatever he says, has traction all over the country because he's the president. The opposition don't get that. Wherever the president goes, he's covered by all the news networks. So whether he's performing as president or he's on the campaign trail,
there's that traction for him.
So that's why, and then he has the money, the good way to dish out the resources. He controls the institutions.
It's the institutions.
Do you understand now? So the opposition
defeating such a president.
That's why in 2015, do you remember that close to the election, President Jonathan had to postpone the election on the advice of the National Security Advisor, Sambo Dazuki. Then there are some states in the north were too hot
for elections to be conducted.
President Bola Tinubu, who was then the leader of the opposition, came out and said, this is a gimmick to make us run out of our...
Because at that time, the momentum was on the side of the opposition, the APC.
But they had their ground.
But they still stood. That in fact, they said if you postpone it for 1 month, now here we did.
In fact, and the other thing is that they made a compelling case to Nigerians.
Of course, change.
The PDP has nothing again to offer you after 16 years in power.
On a coalition platform.
Yes, on a coalition platform. And you see, that time they had issues. One of the issues was that Tinubu wanted to be vice president. Even when it was not possible, he stayed back in the party. Atiku wanted to be president. When he lost in the primary,
Atiku stayed back in the same party. People, in fact, you know, a lot of people forget that Atiku contested that primary.
Yes.
Against Buhari.
Kwankwaso contested, came second.
Stayed in that party.
He stayed in the party. There was
you understand, Joseph?
They
all stayed back.
There was a glue
that brought them together. Held them together. Held them back.
That come up. This PDP must go.
That is what is lacking now.
Now in this opposition. That's what we are saying.
And the reason why I keep saying this, if Obi had stayed in the ADC as the most popular political figure in the opposition.
I remember that like 3 editions ago, we all said that the best option for the opposition would have been to present Obi. There's no doubt about that.
What happened? Yes. If Obi had stayed there, it would have made things much more difficult for members of his party ADC not to present him. Because then his supporters and freelance voters who actually want to be, and let me tell you one of the reasons why people want to be, the biggest problem confronting our government today is the cost of governance.
And Obi has been able to put out.
That's one area he excelled.
One of his selling points.
Prudence, accountability.
Imagine for a moment that we have 36 states, and the Constitution says no state shall have less than 24 members of a state house of assembly. Multiply that. That's just take that as
times 36.
Times 36. And all of these people are maintained by the government. They have cars. The speakers have their wives also provided
for.
Then we go to the national assembly. Just look at the
cost of governance in Nigeria.
I'll say this and I continue to say it. The Nigerian economy is not even up to half of the British economy. Does the British government have a private jet or jets for the Prime Minister and the King? Because of the constitutional monarchy that they have?
We have seats on the fleet too.
France is much richer than Nigeria. We borrow money from France. Does the French president have an aircraft waiting for him every time? When he wants to travel, they commandeer an aircraft from Air France. So the cost of governance, look at the budget for the president of the Senate, the speaker, and the principal officers. This is one area. That's why people prefer that Obi,
somebody who has shown modesty, frugal.
But the issue that in all these because which are very fantastic. People in Nigeria equally want a president who will be a fighter, not the person who run away from problem. Because for me, I'm sorry, obedient. We want to call for anybody ahead. Obi is not a person who want to confront problem and say they will die here.
Governance problem and political problem. I don't know whether they are the same.
Because for me, I can't follow.
Because governance,
I can
politics.
run with you, no matter how difficult the terrain is. You know that we are going to swing.
Maybe he doesn't want to play it dirty. Yes.
When we did the analysis of the last U.S. election, one of the iconic moments that made Trump win that election,
yes,
especially with veterans in the army, was that this was a man who had just been shot,
and he was saying fight,
and blood was coming out, and then
that strong man,
the Secret Service people are trying to push him
down.
Fight, USA, fight.
That moment counted for him.
Any man want to say a person who confronted
because he was able to show again running against a woman. It was almost as if he was telling Americans that, you know what, this is the time to fight. This is the time. You can't present a weakling. But I think that a lot of the obedience, and even from the message I'm getting, they think, this election is going to be majorly about the performance of the president.
No.
And I've told quite a number of people that, look, we've done how many off-cycle elections, Nurudeen? Since president came in.
Anambra. We've done Anambra.
We have Ekiti. We have Ekiti and
I think Ondo.
No, we've not done Ondo.
No.
We have Ekiti and we've done Ondo. We've done Ondo. Yes, we've done Ondo. We've done Ondo. We have Ekiti and Oshun coming up.
Yes.
But if you look at the pattern, I remember when people will say, who will vote for APC? Who will ever vote for APC? This suffering.
All politics is local.
Politics is
all politics is local. You may not like the president. There are people in Ekiti who don't like the president, but they like their governor because of the way he has touched them in distinct
and they'll come out for him.
And because they like him and believe in him, he has that good way with them to convince them and say, trust me, I'm your governor. This guy is going to do well next time. And with some cash, then we vote.
Another thing again is that even political history has even shown us. If you look at Southwest, in 1999 to 2003, look at the performance of the governors in the Southwest. Bola Ahmed Tinubu in Lagos, Olusegun Osoba in Ogun,
Adesina in
Oyo, Baba Akonde in Osun. Look at Ajasin. Look at Adeniyi Adebayo. You know, in Ekiti. If you look at the performance at that particular time, they are the doyen at that particular time because of everybody. You are using education. I'm also using education. You are agriculture,
rural development.
But in 2003, it was only Bola Ahmed Tinubu that survived.
The tsunami swept all of them.
And then another thing again is this. Let me use Jigawa as an example too. Fine, Saminu Turaki has been governor in that particular state, but when Sule Lamido become a governor, that's why I do tell people in Jigawa state today, there is no way you want to write history of Jigawa state. The name of Sule Lamido will be popping up in their first stadium is the one that built it. The secretariat, just like the one of Alausa, is in Duse, where you have all the municipal centers in one particular place, is the one. If the federal university to their state, having two multiple, there are a lot of things to it. But when is the time that he wants to have somebody as a successor? The state voted for another particular
voted against him. Despite his performance.
One thing that the angle of performance, maybe because we are not get to that particular level, or because of human behavior, because there are a lot of things that attract people. Some people building road, they will tell you, is it road we are going to hit?
No, you remember Mr. Adeyemi, the Mr. Muyiwa Adeyemi, yes, the former editor of the Guardian newspaper, when he joined us, he said when Fayose was to come back and defeat Fayemi in Ekiti, that look, there was no doubt about the performance, the first-time performance of Fayemi then in Ekiti. People, in fact, the consensus amongst the Ekiti people was that he had done very well because it was quite obvious. But if Fayose came into the state, rode on Okada, the crowd came in, and he said, as journalists, when they were telling them that, would you go and vote for this one? He said, no, they don't mind though. This one, stomach infrastructure is our own. Despite the obvious performance of Fayemi, Fayose still defeated him.
And that's why when he came back the second time, he didn't perform.
He didn't perform because
he saw clearly that performance did
not matter. So remember that was when Fayose now started stomach infrastructure.
Yes,
because he discovered that Fayemi's performance did not necessarily give him a direct second term.
Fayemi also used stomach infrastructure. When he was also coming.
So when Fayemi was to come in back again,
he also used stomach infrastructure.
He understood their performance.
That is
no, they do am alone. No. So we are not saying performance does not matter.
But Nigeria,
it is not. See, the reality of the Nigerian populace goes beyond thinking, because the president has performed poorly, he will be defeated in the election.
Let me tell you something.
We are being realistic here. Yes.
The issue there is, as far as for me, as far as we are concerned, behavior.
And I think people need to understand that the consensus for us here on this table, on all fields of what the president had promised Nigerians, I think the consensus on the roundtable is that he has performed poorly. So there's no doubt about that one. Although we'll still have a very serious conversation about his performance, but at least so far, security, economy, the living standards of people, from everything we have so far, he has performed poorly. But we are talking about politics here and the way Nigerians vote
and the way we react.
The issue
to these things.
Yes, no, what you are saying for me, because you equally look at it too. That we are saying this so that whether the president and his team may see that okay, what can we do to quickly maybe do some of our mistakes. There are some people who say, okay, this is the first time I'm going to delay my gratification. You see, issue of security, people definitely can. Who know how many of these people that are claiming, they are with the president, that when the time come, that they actually with the president. Some will collect money, and at the end of the day, they do otherwise.
It's possible.
Because if you look
at
the last,
in your own state, when your people they left somebody with PhD, they went for somebody that is not good in figures.
No, it's not. If it is my own state, you cannot. What happened?
It's just an example.
Those one were just election between police, INEC, and the people were helpless.
There's something.
So for me, whatever is going on, we should just know that we are all human beings. In behavioral science, anything can happen. Then secondly, we don't know whether we like it or not. The not equally, it's going to put a lot of surprise.
In behavioral science, you say anything can happen, but science will tell you that you must also work with data, whether you like it or not. Science is empirical.
Yes.
And then being empirical means you have to look at the data. Yes.
And one thing I like to add is that people vote for different reasons.
Yes.
There are those who say, monkey, Peking no fine. Monkey.
Mama like her like that.
Monkey no fine.
Ethnic sentiments.
And it's
a reality that you cannot ignore. Yeah.
The second factor is that there are some people who see election cycle as the dividend cycle.
This
is the only time we feel
stomach infrastructure.
So
give me money. I know you will not do anything. Give me money.
It's not about the quality of the candidate. I will vote for you. It's about what is able to give me. And then there is also the religious side of it.
Yes.
Which you cannot ignore.
He's a Muslim. He's a Christian.
He doesn't have to perform.
He doesn't have to perform.
Because we worship the same God, we have the same.
And these are factors you cannot ignore in Nigeria.
These are factors you cannot ignore. So that's why we say politics is local. there are local factors that pushes people in making their decision. And if you know that, you discover that everywhere, anywhere you have an incumbent, they have more leverage in tapping into these things. Okay? For instance, now, what is the president telling Nigerians? You know what? They are using insecurity to make me lose the election.
Riding on
people are being killed.
In other words,
even though it does not make any sense anyway.
It's not that I'm doing badly.
They are my enemy.
So they're my enemy.
And they want us to buy that.
When we are losing lives, they now use it as politics for president.
Because they are my enemy, they are also your enemy.
So you should also see them as your enemy. Even though they had promised that look, we have what it takes to secure you, but now they are our enemies, so see them too as your enemy. But
the Senate president has resolved the issue that the insecurity will stop after 2 weeks.
It doesn't make any sense.
Before we move on this, so that
there's a question for Vice
I'm coming. So that some people will understand us better. We are talking about reality, politics.
No, we don't need to emphasize that.
Fuhad,
politics is real.
Last session in Lasso, a particular brilliant girl in Agege got admission. The jam, fantastic.
Wike, everything fantastic.
And she needed money to pay some certain things. Even not they didn't get anything. Somebody now introduced her to me. I say, me too. I don't have much, but what I can do is that I can mobilize people for you. Make photocopy of your
admission letter.
Jam results and everything.
And I got to Mox. And I said, come, this is the job of God that we have to do on this particular girl. Incidentally, this girl is a Christian. But we have to do it because if she has tried much as possible to have 7 distinctions in O level and score close to 300 in the jam, she has tried, she has done her own. What can we do? And we try much as possible with some people I can call. We raise money for tuition and everything. And because I knew that she will also need money for accommodation, so we factor that one into it. So after that, there are some people that have called that they didn't drop something at that particular day. They later dropped, and I call some people that this is the other money people dropped. What we can do for this girl is that we are not going to be giving her stipends when she needed money. Let's give this money to her mother that is selling petty whatever.
Actually run business and begin
Mama, we are giving you this money. Add it to your business so that if this lady is calling for 5,000,
you can help her.
You can be able to help her. That one gone. After 2 months, I was coming from Ogun State through Beggar, and I passed through Stadium, and I saw this mama in the uniform of a political party. And Mama, where are you coming from? I said, we come from one rally, one program, whatever. And you now left your shop where you're supposed to be making money. Say, what are we now going to do? And I told that woman, I said, I don't have problem you doing politics, but I have problem with you leaving your shop. How much were you giving? He said 750 naira. I said, Mama, if you stay in that shop, if that girl now needs money, I said, no problem. But one thing there is that I will make sure the resources that other people will need will not get to you. Look at that thinking of that particular woman. When she needed the assistance, she did not go to those people that are in politics. So it shows the thinking of some certain people. You can see some Nigerians that will be suffering, and they have a particular politician that is not doing well. They will still vote for that particular politician.
Just go and
that is their thinking.
They will collect and go and dance.
And they go and dance.
But Barrister, this is a question from Mr. Matthew Kodo, and he's saying the role of the PRP, that the PRP party of the Ahmeds, the Dati Ahmeds, Baba Ahmeds, standing alone or in alliance with the NDC, that if they decide eventually to align with the NDC, can they help the NDC grind out the results in the north?
Where is PRP in the north? PRP is a party in Kano State. The headquarters in Kano State.
Yes.
With PRP beat Kwankwaso
in Kano.
No. Like if they decide to now work,
even if they decide to work
with the NDC,
it's more of the same.
It's the same base.
It's more of the same because the PRP members are either supporters of Kwankwaso or they join forces with him.
and they have.
And if they win Kano,
where they can even do a little bit well, maybe one or two things is in Kaduna. But one thing there is this: even with them, even with that, it will not count.
Who and who is in PRP in Kaduna?
Yesterday I have opportunity to
because that is another calculation that when we put
with the vice chairman of PRP yesterday in Kaduna, Olajide, Southwest, yes. And the question was, I think it's a political party that's registered, but the effort is not there, and maybe because they don't have money to actually.
Kola Abiola was this presidential candidate
in one
the
last
election. What did they score? Check the result of Kola Abiola.
and another thing again is this. One thing there is that maybe if at the end of the
day, I think that Baba Ahmed has gone there, right?
Yes.
And he probably will be the presidential candidate.
In fact, he said no. The way I'm seeing it, maybe he's not interested to be presidential candidate. But he said that if the party has to support anybody, the way the body language and based on
what you are seeing from him,
he's going to support Peter Obi. And I said that you are going to support Peter Obi from PRP.
Why didn't you join him? Just go there and join him.
If you break down the votes that came into Labour Party, I can tell you not up to 350,000 votes came in because of that Ahmed.
No, we've said that was a political misadventure. That one is established. Okay, but Barrister, let's quickly look at the ADC because we need to talk about them before we now go to Rivers State this evening. They are not backing down. Atiku is still solid on the race. He's picked up a form.
They're not going to back down.
He's in the party. I'm talking about the party now. So you have himself, Rotimi Amechi, and then Muhammad Ayatudeen. They've all picked the nomination form. I think
people will still pick.
And each of the form I think was sold for 90 million naira. So they picked the form.
You know, Ayatudeen also carry.
But let us even look at these three people. What do you think the ADC is trying to? Who do you think eventually would make it on top of the tickets in the party?
So this is the thinking.
The ADC now.
No, this is the thinking of ADC. First of all, as a party, we will not back down. We will not be intimidated by the ruling party. The judiciary will not intimidate us.
I will not be threatened by the exit of Obi.
The purpose is to show that, look, if you don't allow a major opposition party like us to participate in election, the legitimacy of that election will be questioned by the international community. And that's why you see the game in the court. The judgment that the Supreme Court gave was intended to sustain the party without giving the party too much room to succeed. And they understand that. So that's why when the matter now went to the lower court,
the guy said,
Balagumbe said, I don't trust the judge.
The court should recuse herself. Yes.
And all that will
the
continue.
Judge that gave status quo antebellum.
Yes. No. This is the federal high court, not even the appeal court.
No, you know that was the root of status quo antebellum.
The other,
I understand.
At the federal high court, put you on notice.
Oh no, that is
come and answer.
That is the root.
That
is the root
of. But
I understand. That is the root.
Why is Bala saying, "Oh, I don't want this judge now"?
You know, usually when a litigant goes to court and say, "I don't want this judge," he's saying, "I think the judge is biased. The judge will not
deliver justice.
Deal with me on this
fairly,
case fairly, you know, and in a manner that is equitable and fair, and all of that." Now that problem, but you know what? That judge, the judge that sat and was asked to leave the matter, can actually call for a trial and ask Bala to present evidence that shows that he is biased.
The man has now even at Johnson and die. He's just in the.
What he has done is that the judge can say, on the basis of this, what you have presented, you have not convinced me that I'm partisan, so I must hear the case.
The case will proceed.
Yes. But what this judge did was that he adjourned and say, you know what, I am no longer interested in the matter. The chief judge
should decide when you
assign it to anybody that you want.
Now that's a double-edged sword. Double-edged sword in the sense that it could give some level of comfort to the ADC people and say, well, the status quo is that we remain in charge based on the judgment.
But should they be approaching a major election with that uncertainty?
They don't care.
They don't care.
Yeah, they don't care. So because then the other side of it is that there could be a surprise, and if there's that surprise close to an election that does not favor them, then they will come out and say this is intervention or interference from the ruling party, which is also one of the things they want Nigerians.
Do you think the ruling party cares?
They should care.
But do they care?
Look, you can look. I've said it before.
You have to care.
There is a win that looks like a loss.
A loss.
And you want to win in a way that looks like you won. Okay? So, left for me, if I were the ruling party today, given the emerging situation, I would not even focus on the ADC anymore.
Yes.
I will encourage the opposition to run on parallel lines. And then I said, look, it's easy for me to get the vote and win.
And if they can work very well, and that is the thing. But one thing here for me is this. I think is with what is happening now, ADC, they are like a trailer that have lost its brake. They want to continue marshalling on.
Between Atiku, this is not to diminish the prospects of Muhammad Ayatuddin, but it appears like a two-horse race. Atiku, Rotimi Amechi.
He's been running for president.
Yeah.
I
don't know. Of course, he's been on the ballot several times. I'm just saying that, look, the way the ADC looks structured.
He used a lot of advert.
But what I'm saying is that, do you see the ADC eventually presenting Atiku?
It depends. Look, if the ADC as a party wants to go against the rotational policy in the air, quote and unquote, because it's a mental thing for most Nigerians that has come to stay. If the APC want to go against
the ADC
want to go against that, and they present Atiku, and Atiku is going to look for somebody from the south to run with him, either Rotimi Amechi if he agrees, or Sheyi Makinde, from what we are hearing. If that happens, okay, then Hayatuddin will not have any chance at all. But if the party is leaning towards endorsing the Southerner,
and they look at Rotimi,
as we speak today, Rotimi Amechi is the only Southerner
that have collected form.
And if Rotimi Amechi becomes the candidate, Rotimi is going to fight, okay? But he has to get somebody from the north to be his deputy. And I'm sure they will find one. If that becomes
no, there's always somebody.
So Hayatuddin can be tapped upon. So I think that's the game Hayatuddin is playing. Okay. You know, there was a point I wanted to make about Kwankwaso.
Kwankwaso, okay.
I think that Kwankwaso is doing this with an eye on 2031.
No, of course, I was going to raise that. I forgot. We discussed it before the show.
Everything he's doing here is to send a message to the Southeasterners. I'm backing your guy.
When I need you
in 2031, you need to be there for
me. In fact, there are people who have said, there are people who have said, and I think we discussed before the show that even a Kwankwaso is playing a selfish politics.
Yes.
That, look, coming to the ADC was even a surprise to a lot of northern political pundits. That, look, this is a guy that knows that, look, if the ADC eventually decides that even Obi, that most likely the choice of a running mate, the choice for someone to pick a running mate for Obi would be the choice for Atiku. That will probably be Atiku that will be looked at as the person that should present a running mate. And that, look, Kwankwaso and Atiku had never really worked together in the north. That these are people who really
even today, if they said Atiku should close his eyes
and pick somebody
somebody that will now deputize
Obi, if they were still together.
Will now pick.
So that people felt that Kwankwaso just discovered that for 2031 he has his eye on the presidency, and the best way would be to pull Obi out of the ADC, sell the idea of a party where they can run together, and then, of course, like you're saying, sell the sentiments to the northern, to the southeastern people that, you know what, I've supported your guy. In the future, can you give me the same support? So this is still about being selfish.
If Kwankwaso can run on NNPP, and the way Mr. Adeyemi said it the other time, can be telling people,
that will win.
And don't forget that in this the same political roundtable, I told you that Kwankwaso did not want to be president. He wants to retain his power in Kano, and I'm still saying it today.
To negotiate.
And to negotiate, and that's exactly what happened. I'm still saying it today. The only place that I know that Kwankwaso will deliver based on his press and political activities is Kano. Apart from Kano, even Jigawa, that is a few kilometers to Adeja, he cannot even win in Adeja. So, and one thing there is that with now every politician is selfish. If Peter Obi is also not selfish, he will not leave Labour Party. If Atiku He's not selfish. He will not be jumping from one political. If President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not selfish as a politician, he will not kill AD for AAC when he created in 2003. So every politician is selfish. But one thing that is very, very important is that how will they sell themselves to the people that will make people to rush them? But opposition, they have a lot of work to do.
Okay, let's quickly, because I need to go to the third issue.
I need a quick one is, I think Nigeria, the government, everyone will need to manage ADC, because if these guys continue the way they are going, the Atiku, Rotimi Amechi, and if at the end of the day, the election is not like we have serious balanced winner, then we may have a lot of issue to resolve. In 2023, I believe it is because the Supreme Court know that Nigeria need peace. That's why the issue of the winning in Abuja, issue of when they say the constitution say you must have
25%. Yeah, in the
Abuja is also a state.
Because they have to weigh a lot. If you now say, because the president did not did not get 25 in Abuja, so what will not be the end of? So
what is it about? What is it about the ADC that we should be concerned about? That's what I'm
because if they continue this way, and maybe
which they will eventually present a candidate.
No, if we don't know what the court will come out, the outcome of, if tomorrow the court say now say, ADC they cannot present
a candidate.
Okay, then how do we now go about it? Because this guy can become like, okay, you don't want me to run, then those that have some monopoly of something, they will be raising some of other and will become a different thing entirely.
But the thing is that it would have been a different case if people like Obi and Co are still in that party. That would have even been more problematic, don't you think?
But Amechi is another person have a balance of power with them too, because all of them they are all in the same camp before.
I don't know how balanced that power is, but let's just really look at this last issue before we open the phone lines. And I'm looking at River State by Mr. Curtis Adigba, Nurudeen, Joseph Folorunsho. The peace accord, whether there was anyone anyways, reached between the River State governor, Siminalayi Fubara, and the minister of the FCT, by Mr. Wike, may have just collapsed. As the 2027 general elections draws very, very close. Both Fubara and Wike seem to have returned to the trenches over who becomes the next governor of the state, in line with the content of the peace deal in which President Bola Ahmed Tinubu pretended over, go back, Yendeba. But I think what we have now, Barrister, Yendeba has been jettisoned. As of last Tuesday, a group of elders led by Honorable Awaji Ombek Abante, a member of the House of Reps and an ally of the governor, bought a governorship form for Fubara. They went there and bought a form for him. Now, to counter that, in a swift move, Wike's allies, a particular Dr. Dax George Kelly, a former commissioner for works, and Honorable Kingsley Chinda, a member of the House of Representatives, also picked forms for the governorship on the platforms of APC and PDP respectively. So Wike is doing double.
For who now?
No.
Who are the candidates that they picked for? At least the other people picked for Fubara.
No, they pick for themselves. But what the report is saying is that these are allies of Wike. So two allies of Wike, one in PDP, one in APC. So what you have in the APC is that there's a Dr. Dax George Kelly, an ally of Wike. The Gaton policies that we talk about, one leg here, one leg there, and there's Honorable Chinda, who has picked the governorship ticket for the PDP. Both of them appear to be the candidates of Wike, one in APC, one in PDP. Fubara has also sponsored, according to reports, allegedly, all across state assembly members.
In fact, they point the
jointly. And it is said that all these people are to run the race against Wike's people who are also in the. So, how would the APC manage this problem? Look, as at this morning, Fubara had not appeared for screening.
Although he was said to be in Abuja.
And when they were asking Nantawe, the chairman of the party, said, he's not the only one now. But eventually, we have reports now, and I've seen the video this afternoon, that Fubara had now appeared before the screening committee and is going to run. What game do you see the APC playing here?
So first of all, you talked about a peace accord that the president put in place in River State.
We did not see it.
There was no peace accord. The reality is that the president is the arsonist and
and the firefighter.
And the firefighter. He knows what he's doing in River State. He wants to win the state. He will win the state, and there will be collateral damage. Damages, in the process. The reality is that, look, never in the history of this country
have we seen this kind
have we had a situation where one man
is running two parties.
In
the same state.
That is a recipe. It's a recipe for disaster. And that the president allowed it at all. Because you see, I've always said, the president has a lot of leverage. The president can bring this conflict in River State to an end today if he wants it. Let me tell you something, and I've said it before. Even when he declared the state of emergency, what was the punishment he meted out to Wike?
No, Wike
nothing.
Wike was not the problem, according to the
president.
He
put his thumb on the system for Wike. And even the person he nominated to be the sole administrator was a Wike's person. So here's the issue. The president has encouraged Wike, because if he decides to sack Wike as a minister, when that conflict was going on, everything that Wike has to fight today would not be there.
Yes.
It's because of the fact that he's a powerful minister in the government, and people believe that he has the backing of the president. That's why they are respecting him. So, but here is the moment of truth. The APC has a policy in the party.
The governor is the leader of the state.
The governor is the leader of the party. The president has come out to say no automatic ticket for National Assembly members. They have to go back to their governors.
Yes.
And Fubara is governor, whether you like it or not.
And all the governors have automatic tickets.
Will Rivers be an exception?
No, it can't be an exception. It will not be an exception. Because don't forget that there's a progressive governors forum led by Hope Uzodinma.
Yes.
And these guys are fighting for Fubara. Do you understand? Because they don't understand what Fubara has done. That he should not come back. And so you will know the direction in the next few days when the results come out, and you'll find out that
it is
those that Fubara has nominated for the House of Assembly. If they are the ones on the ticket, the only thing Wike can do is to take his own candidate to the splinter PDP.
No, they are in the APC as it stands. They've been screened.
They will lose out. That's what I'm saying. Because if at the end of the day they don't get the ticket of the party,
that's all.
They are going to leave the party.
But there's no time to go to another party.
Well,
how are they going to do that?
So what? And that is where the problem will start, because Wike will then resort to do anti-party to make sure
against the APC,
against the APC in the state, and that is when the fangs will come out. Do you understand? The fangs will come out
because if we can't be talking about Yereba, one that thought that Yereba means that the APC would not even sell form to Fubara. They would have told him, don't bother to buy the form. But for him to have bought the form, and for him to be screened,
all the assembly Fubara, that he also used.
Fuhad, you know the teeth that the mother dog used to play with the child.
And they take it bite more.
And they take bite more. When the moment of truth comes, I think 3 days ago I was watching this program caught in the act, Unfaithful.
Unfaithful, yes.
And this guy was dating 2 women.
Okay.
One of them happens to be a businesswoman. The other one happens to be like his side, and all of that. And when he was caught and brought before the 2 women, it was the moment of truth. He has to choose one. He said no, he's choosing both of them because they bring different things to the table for him. And they told him, this is America, you can't do that. Do you understand? And both women walked away. Now, this kind of situation now, President Tinubu has his moment of reality.
Now, either to support the governor of his party,
either support the governor of his party against a non-member of his party who also supports him,
or you will now sacrifice the River State
and that's where
for another party.
That's why the party machinery will come in. Because if you listen to the chairman of the party, if you listen to Bashiru,
Ajibola
Bashiru,
who is
the secretary of the party,
they have come out to say Wike is not a member of our party.
But he's working for their party indirectly.
Well, he's working for the president.
For me, again, I can't convince that. I'm not going to be convinced that Wike is actually working for the president.
Who is he working for?
No, the issue there is this. Wike is working for himself, but in a dangerous way. Because for me, in my village where I come from, if a person can burn his father's house, burn everybody in his father's house for any reason, we will not even allow him to.
Are we going
can be relating with him for a very
because if
they were when we finish using him, then we abandon him.
If they were in opposing parties now, let's say Wike's people are in PDP and the APC are in a separate party, one would have said, well, maybe the president will just leave them, play neutral for them to grind it out. But they will first have to slug it out in the APC.
No, but I have a question to ask.
Yes.
If Wike is so strong on the ground as he wants us to believe, why don't he teach Fubara a lesson by fielding candidates in the PDP?
The way Kwankwaso did in Kano.
Yes.
Say leave the APC to him.
Yes.
And then grind it out completely.
Let's go.
But the problem is that even the PDP Wike oaths. See get K-leg. They see a little K-leg for him too.
Wike is actually burst into a corner. Do you understand?
Is he saying it?
No, it may not be. Look, I do say it here now. Wike need a cognitive psychology.
It's giving
to actually.
And somebody has said that.
He's giving the ticket to Chinda because it's rumored that his son is going to take Chinda's place.
Yes.
In the House of Reps.
Because I think Chinda too has also been screened in the APC. So it's all again the Rivers team.
We do not this thing because we have security agencies that are more political than being security.
Well, that's
the issue there is this. Anytime he's going, we seem like it's like a de facto IGP,
no.
de facto whatever.
The reality is that
somebody gave him those security.
Somebody gave him more.
Yes,
If the APC today decides that their candidate is Fubara, on election day, Wike will not be able to leave his house.
The way you move around,
he will not leave his house.
You should come and ask Amosu.
He will not leave his house. To get to that security way they carry about. Somebody gave it to him. If today
let me tell
the APC decides that it is Fubara,
let me tell you how powerful a president is. You know how close President Tinubu and Wale Edun used to be. The day the president decided that they're sacking him, you might not even be able to see the president.
Yes,
that's all.
And because of the power that he has, you are the one who has just been sacked. You are the one coming to thank him for the opportunity to give him serve. If the president gets his second term today, what does he need the Wike for? No, tell me.
So if only he knows, again, it is left for him to see the danger of the game. Okay, well that's it. Okay, we'll leave it and just take the calls now. It's been a very robust engagement. Again, talking real politics here, looking at the data, looking at the numbers. I'm still surprised that there are people who think that the results of the last election, 2023 election, is not a data that we should work with. In fact, there are people who say it was a rigged election.
Although different events, but one thing there is that currently now the last data we have
that we can work with
for presidential elections,
if it's a rigged election,
yes,
it says it cannot be rigged again.
It can be rigged. It can be rigged. But one thing there is that this is the data on ground that we have to work with.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, good evening. Yes, you're welcome.
You get light.
My barrister.
Is there light to the Mafluku?
My barrister. Now, na special case. So for more than 2 weeks, no light at all. No light at all.
I don't collect NEPA wife.
It goes to show that even our resolution that we will not vote for them, it still stands. That's what. This Wike that people are saying he has a legal PDP doesn't have legal as far as Wike is concerned. The court is sure to be by his side. So anybody that Wike puts in that PDP, that person is going. Wike and judiciary are the same thing now. Nobody can challenge anybody that Wike put, and his own PDP faction is the legal one.
I don't know.
So anything Wike puts, judiciary is there to support him. That's what I will tell you people. Bye bye.
All right. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening, the wise man in the studio.
Yes, good
Happy
evening.
Sunday to you all.
We greet you.
Yeah, my name is Peter Usifu. I'm calling from Abaran Shortly. My take is on River State politics concerning Wike and his mentee, Fubara. Now, I believe that with this latest trend, by, when Fubara has now gone to face the
screening committee, yeah.
Exactly, because before they said he was not there. Now you have just given me the information that he has gone to face them. I believe that with this, Wike and Mr. President have actually set the trap for him.
Set trap for who? Wait, set trap for who?
For Fubara. Let me tell you.
How?
Very good, very good. You see, INEC electoral law stipulates that you cannot contest primaries in one party, and maybe when you fail, you go to another party.
Of course, yes. So how is that a trap?
So with this, I would have thought that maybe Fubara, and if you are good at that, would have probably they come to NDC.
Why?
Very good. But now that he has contested there, I have two reasons for this contest today. You know, now that he has contested, he has brought himself to a
How now? You are still saying the same thing. How?
Whether he loses or not, he must remain with ADC. I mean,
now, how has he bought himself to a corner? You have not said that.
But let me tell you, if what people are trying to say is true, that means that he has told the tiger by the tail. And that
how has he bought himself to a corner by contesting in APC?
Very good. Now he's not going. Why he has bought himself to a corner is that he's not going to be taking. He's not going to be to return as the.
He's not going to be the candidate of the APC. How do you know? What gives you the confidence?
My own permutation.
What permutation? And what are the facts on ground?
People that are saying that Labour, that hello.
I'm with you.
Oh, God bless you. People that are saying that he has been given the right to choose the National Assembly members, just like that.
Nobody has said that here.
Remember Lagos State. Even the councillor in Lagos State.
He's just going around. He just believes what he believes without any fact. Hello, good evening. I wanted him to say something that would be. Hello, good evening. Yes.
Hello, my name is Mark.
Yes, Mark.
Yeah. I greet the barrister, Mr. Nurudeen, Mr. Fuhad.
We greet you.
Good evening. Yeah, good evening. So, first of all, to start with, I quickly want to talk about ADC and the opposition and Peter Obi. But please, you can just indulge me for a little more time.
I'll give you 2 minutes, but you have to be very fast, please. 2 minutes,
thank you.
Because there's a lot of people. We have a lot of people here.
Yeah, thank you. Quickly, let me first of all disagree with the opinion in the studio that the president has performed poorly. I strongly
you don't have to agree with us on that.
You can say your own.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm stating the opinion that I disagree.
Okay, that's fine.
Right?
That's fine.
And I have my strong reasons for that.
Okay.
Maybe next time when
we are talking about the performance of the president, you can now come with your own facts. Why not?
If I'm lucky to get through,
just try on that day when we are talking about the performance of the president. We'd like to have your take on why you think he has done well. Yes.
Very, very fantastic. The direction is so. In fact, I'm so pleased with the policy direction of the president. I'm so pleased with it. So let me quickly delve into the matter of ADC and Peter Obi. If you could recall that Peter Obi, among the contenders or the front runners in ADC, he was the last to pick up ADC membership card. He picked up the card this year in March, right? So in less than 2 months of picking up his membership card, he resigned from ADC and went to NDC. It shows the credibility issues that is around or surrounding his character. So, at this point in time, being the supporter or an unapologetic supporter of the president, I think the opposition right now, they are working to ensure the re-election of Mr. President. If you notice that the northern elite in ADC, they are very gutted and disgusted at Peter Obi for disappointing them. For you to pick up your membership card as the last person, you agreed to the agreement of the ADC. Remember that Peter Obi was the one that nominated the organizing secretary, the publicity organizing secretary or whatever in ADC. It was one that nominated the individual. And when they were doing their digital registration, members registration recently, it was the one that nominated the man in charge of that digital registration. So it was given the platform to ensure that he has a sense of belonging within the coalition. Yeah. But at the end of the day, he disappointed them.
But you are not in the coalition. There might be things he's seen that you are not seeing. Don't you think so? It's not just what you have said is not enough to show that he would have a fair deal or was well within the coalition. He said there were internal wranglings.
Of course, it has a mask the internal wranglings within the coalition. But the northern coalition, especially the northern elite in ADC, they were disappointed that he derailed the train. He derailed the train.
Okay, all right. So again, we are getting some people are giving different updates. Again, the video we saw of Fubara going in for screening, he never addressed the press. He just left without addressing the press. But again, nobody can confirm whether he was not screened. The report was that he came in for screening, and after the screening, he left without addressing.
So what's the reason why?
What was the reason
why?
Since they sold the form to him in the first place. So, but again, we'll keep our eyes.
And he's a member of the party.
We'll keep
we have 001. Have you forgotten?
Anyway, we'll keep our eyes on that development.
Have you seen any other?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Fuhad.
Good evening.
Please,
yes.
Note that some people have been giving some money to be wasting people callers time. Don't give them extra time at all.
Just go ahead.
1 minute. 1 minute.
All right, just go ahead. I want him to really.
The engineer from Yaba here.
You're welcome.
You have been doing well. You
Thank
see,
you.
the NDC, you people are saying nobody can get crash into power in Nigeria. The person with land.
I like that.
When the chiefs are done, you will see when did not belong to Atiku. I'm telling you for a fact.
Exactly. And that's
No
why it's not
matter how you look at it, all the other permutations, let us forget it. People have come out and they're doing one time in NDC in order just to pin down Kwankwaso. But Kwankwaso is very qualified, very experienced as a politician. Let us see what will come out of it. That is just my own submission. 24 hours, things can change within 24 hours in politics. Nobody can just come up with any fact now.
Okay.
But as time goes on, when we start the real campaign, you will see that things will take shape.
All
God
right.
bless Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening. Malam.
Yes, Malam Salah, good evening.
Abeg, why is our president Abeg? Why he don't come back?
As at the last report is from France to Kenya, from Kenya to
Last
3 nations to visit.
France,
you see how the man just the 5G. You see how the man the 5G. They relax.
They say he's working.
He went to Benue.
I know, go Benue.
You don't have any threat politically.
Well, I know from France, Kenya to one other African country. Nobody's even paying attention really, except for his people.
You know why I'm asking you this?
Yes.
If he relax, if to say is under threat politically,
he will not be going
on.
Eh?
You know, go around now. He's relaxed. You see how the election will be in 2027. Write it down. Obi will lose no states.
Obi will do what?
One Atiku,
Obi will do what?
You lose 3 states now. Definitely, you can't win Nasarawa. You can't win Benue. You can't win Plateau.
He won it. He won it the last time.
He won there now. That was
He didn't win Benue.
Not central that
He came second, but he won in Plateau.
He won in
Plateau.
He won in Nasarawa.
He won in Nasarawa. He won in Benue.
No, he didn't win in Benue. He didn't win in Benue.
He didn't win in Benue. Okay, he won in Abuja.
He came second, but with very slim margin.
I think less than 14,000.
Less than 14. In fact, less than 10,000 votes.
You see, Oga. Anybody that's calculating this election of 2027 with the 2023 election is making mistakes. Atiku remain. You see, one thing is this. You see, this president has no any threat. Far as I'm concerned. Atiku will pick the ticket of ADC. And the Northerners will massively vote for him. But that will not guarantee him to win election. Remember in 2011, Buhari on his own under CPC, he got 15 million votes. Okay? So the election will be just between Mr. President and Atiku, and definitely anywhere in the north, both northwest and northeast. You understand? He can get his 25%, if not winning.
Okay.
You get me?
Thank you.
No.
Hello, good evening.
I salute you.
Yes, we greet you.
Yeah, Alabala question.
Yes. Alaba get us today.
Definitely.
Ojo Niru.
I don't send message. I don't send message sef. I don't tell her.
Oh yeah.
Make una relax. Make all of una sef go get una PVC.
No,
it's
funny thing on elections day we can't even vote.
We are always working.
We're always busy.
I just want to say this.
Yes.
Well, quickly let me go to Rivers State. Nothing will happen. Fubara will remain the candidate of APC in the governorship election.
What would that do to Wike?
No. Let me tell you something. Wike, Mr. Presidency have 1 or 2 meetings with them. For example, that we settle everything. It's all about politics. And Wike is just having flashback of what has happened between him and his boy. Are you getting my point? I mean, he's also look at, okay, if I should back this guy again, all such a thing will not happen again. But nevertheless, Wike is truly a loyal boy to the president.
Okay.
He will back him up. Let me say this again.
Quickly.
Mr. Fuhad, I don't like the way some of you guys talk on when you are having the opportunity of the radio. Now, they ask you a question that where is the president? You a media man.
I've just told them now.
Wait, you're supposed to have given us a good
from France to Kenya, from Kenya to
millions of people are listening to
yes.
you. Are you saying that you don't even know where the president is?
I didn't tell you I didn't know. I just told you that he's in France. From France, he's going to Kenya. Wait.
You being the media
wait now, calm down.
You're supposed to be following the president.
I can't be following the president. Why would I be following the president? Wait. Just calm down now. Calm down. Wait, calm down now. Calm down.
He's not hearing us.
He doesn't want to listen.
I'm with you.
Okay. When the press release of the president's movement was released, did you see the press release?
I saw it.
Okay, and you read the press release?
Yes, I read it.
Where did they tell you he was first going to?
He said, no, let me tell you something.
Answer now. You've accused us now, but you saw the press release.
But Mr. Saheed, what I'm saying is, people listen to you more than me.
I'm just asking you a question.
He said he was
going to France. From France, he will go to Kenya.
Then Kenya.
And
then they give us the date.
I've just wait.
If you don't like the president, don't.
You see the problem.
That's where
he's going. Barrister, when this press release came out, we did a lot of review. We gave it. There's no way you would not even have talked about the movement.
They didn't give us the timeline of what the days is going to use in France.
They even told us when he will be going to the other African countries. But what he's going to do in France, the details of when he will leave France, in fact, to the point of when the president will return, was missing.
Yes, it has always been missing.
And you said I should be following him, I should be running up and down.
And if you don't do that, it means you don't like him.
If you don't like the president, just imagine.
Must you like him? Does he even like you? Does the president like you?
Well, so because the president.
I know by tomorrow, the spokesperson will
hello, good evening.
Good evening, my people.
Yes.
My name is Ambrose.
You're welcome, Pastor.
They have come again with their calculation. That was how they said Obi cannot win one state in 2023. They have started again because they just like Obi. I want to particularly address Folorunsho. He said Obi is not aggressive. Who was the second person in the last 2023 election? Was it not Atiku? What did that? Was Obi not even more aggressive in contesting that result?
He doesn't want to confront issues.
Because you said to Obi, I'm not an Obi and I'm an Obi supporter, but that statement, why didn't Atiku? What did Atiku do? Can you fight it? Even Tinubu, if Jonathan didn't want to hand over to him, what do you think Tinubu would have been able to do? You see, the only means is through the court. And Obi went to court. Atiku didn't even do as much as Obi did in the 2023 election.
No, I think
I am saying
Atiku was one dragging the US.
No, I think he's modeling up things. What Joseph talked about is his activity within the party.
The party, not generally in Nigeria. That's
but he ruled Anambra State for 8 years. Did he not do well?
He was impeached twice.
All games entirely. Can I conclude?
Yeah, conclude. Yes.
Conclude. Let me tell you something. Obi has his own political plans and agenda. Like I said, deputy
president. Let me ask you a question, Pastor Ambrose.
Yes.
That plan, that will be plan. Without a coalition, do you think it will defeat Tinubu?
Without a coalition,
yes.
But he has come out very clearly to say he's not desperate to be president, and I support him. Let him pursue his ambition. That is my own. Let me tell you, Fuhad and all of you in the studio, whether you agree or not, if we have free, fair, and credible election, I will beat Tinubu in Nigeria. Me, okay, I will defeat him.
Okay, Ambrose, let me ask you a question. He's not desperate.
I will defeat Tinubu.
No, okay, but Barrister has a question for you.
He's not desperate to be president. Why don't he get out of the race?
Because
you say I am stammering.
No, I want to ask you a question. If you say you want to give me 50,000 naira now, and I actually need it, I can't force you, but I will call you. If I call you once, twice, and you say no, will I force you?
All right.
So these are the things. These are the permutations. The truth of this matter is that whether we like it or not, let Nigerians
desperate to be president, and a lot of Nigerians are desperate for him
to be president.
That's the reality.
But he's not going to be aggressive about it like Mr. Tinubu. Mr. Tinubu is more desperate, and that's why he does not want free, fair, credible, and transparent election.
He's more desperate, and that is why he's president today. And if we allow his desperation again, he'll be re-elected.
He'll be elected. That's what we are saying.
It's not by force. Let him. If Nigerians want to vote for Obi, let them.
Okay. Oof. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, good evening, gentlemen.
Yes, good evening.
Yeah, it's Emmanuel speaking to you from Ekwe.
You are welcome, sir.
Yeah, I want to say it would be hard for Obi to be president without a coalition. And I'm very, very disappointed, about him moving, to the NDC.
We've not heard from because why is it?
He's been calling.
He's going to disrupt the numbers. The best I think he will probably do, is become second. And we know the kind of figures, they give us, when it comes to election. Those figures, are nothing to work with in reality. When you take into cognizance what happened in Rivers, and some other states. And then coming back to the issue of Rivers politics proper, I've consistently said that if you bring Angel Emmanuel, Angel Curtis Adegba, Angel Fuhad to come and settle the issue, they can never settle the issue.
That's Rivers matter. Even President Tinubu cannot settle it.
How many times the president don't try to settle him? He don't see and settle. In fact, the interesting thing is that even if you remove Fubara today and bring in any other governor, there are still going to be issues. So Wike is just who he is. Look at what is happening in the FCC between him and
local government chairman.
Senator
Kingibe.
Wike is just that kind of person, that is his character. And for the 2027 election, I hope that something miracle will happen, bringing the coalition together again in that direction.
Maybe they will come together again, Abi?
Yes, so that there will be a formidable opposition.
Okay, he's still hopeful that somehow there can still be a convergence.
It's always a political.
Good evening.
It's not impossible. Hello, good evening. Yes.
Yeah, good evening to the West man in the studio. My name is Larry Bashir.
Yes, Larry Bashir.
Yeah. See, sometimes I love listening to people. People, your contribution is so enlightening. You are giving us exactly what is going on in the country, and you people are not even biased in your whatever you are saying. So there are some people, let me tell you, we need them. They are paid to talk whatever they say on radio. We know them.
We don't know them. We don't have to know them.
We take them too seriously. We know them. And these are people that are suffering. How can we be suffering and be smiling in this country? Why are we doing this to assess?
Okay. Thank you, Larry Bashir. So that we can use the remaining time to take the messages we have on Facebook. We have John Bernardo. He's saying court adjourned ADC case indefinitely, meaning non-Fubara contract has ended because his sponsors are comfortable with the 3-horse race. He's thinking that I think what the way they've divided themselves now, you know.
The stock now is hovering. There's too much.
There's too much in the market now.
There's no demand for it.
And Joe Idoko Joseph say, good to see you all in the studio, particularly by Star, looking good as always. God bless you richly for your great job out there. We have Sunday Noah saying, good evening, fantastic friend. Sorry, NDC as an organized political party in their wisdom is on course. Peter Obi has said he will showcase his optimum performance in Aso Rock within 4 years. Let Nigerians give him a chance and cooperation. Okay. O.C. Morales saying hello to us. Jonah Okoji saying the conversation is okay. That's on Radio Garden. Distinguished gentleman in the studio, that's from James Nwachi Ogbona, is saying, I greet you fundamentally, Mr. Father. I picked my membership card of the NDC at the dying minute yesterday, as INEC deadline ends today. I didn't follow a bit to the ADC because I never believed in the coalition. I wasn't convinced at all. I denounced Labour Party yesterday and got my online membership card from the NDC. I think they zoned the president to the south and settled for a single term for 2 reasons. Peter Obi had already said so. Secondly, the south only has 1 term left before the turn of the north. Okay, we'll see how that works out. Aliu Abdurrahman is saying, good evening. The wise men for ADC should have gone for the choice of the masses. Okay. Jamio Olamilekon Yusuf saying Obi should forget the election because Kwankwaso, Atiku and Ged will share the vote within themselves. Ifeanyi Chibundu Obata is saying, good evening, gentlemen. We cannot purely use the result of last general election to extrapolate. Now the party structure, people's ideology, influence, vote trading have a lot to do in the dynamics of the elections. Anyways, a lot, so that's the more that we can take from the messages on Facebook. I decided the Enigma is here with his cap.
Good evening, Lagos. Good evening.
This one is to the right.
Okay. Good evening, Barrister. Good evening, Mr. Nurudeen and Mr. Joseph. So we'll be discussing this topic. We've tagged it, let's tell dissenting spouses about how they should always understand that it is never greener on the other side.
Dissenting spouses.
Yes.
Okay. It's not always greener on the other side.
It's not always greener, but even both the men, the women, and
but this is a topic that's already conclusive.
But where is it greener?
No,
this is conclusive.
Greener.
Inside seems greener.
No, wait now.
This is they put fertilizer. If they put fertilizer for that side.
If it's greener, why is it not working?
No. Because you say the other side is not greener.
No.
The one way they no green at all.
The other side where they go. What is they say they green? Because you go don't align, you go check where your votes go come from.
Anyways, we'll leave you to sort out how green or not green it is. All right, this is where we call it the Political Roundtable, mainland 98.3 FM. We'll do this again next week.